starve.
No, I mean, I think it's a miracle that we've been doing this for 3 weeks now and we're not banged up in nick.
We ain't going to be banged up in nick. We ain't doing nothing illegal, are we? Ain't
Nothing illegal. We are selling public water to the public.
That is where you're wrong. Because this water used to be public, and then Maggie, she privatised it, didn't she, eh? It now belongs to a board of directors and a load of investors. They sell it to us, we sell it on. All we're doing is repackaging it. It's a bit like, you know, Esso, they buy oil from Kuwait, don't they? Then they repackage it and they sell it on as petrol. Right? Nothing illegal in it.
They could have you under the Trades Descriptions Act. You call it Peckham Spring, but it ain't from a spring.
Yeah, well, Sainsbury's, they sell runner beans, but they ain't been round a track 3 times, have they?
All right then. What about the claim on the label then? From an ancient and natural source?
Yeah, the Thames. Can't be more ancient and natural than that, can it, eh? Anyway, we got a certificate from the Swans Committee saying this is some of the finest water they've ever analysed.
Yeah, because what they analysed weren't this. It was Malvern or Buxton water.
Look, will you stop splitting hairs? Last fortnight, Peckham Spring has become Miles's biggest seller. He's doubled his order twice. Oh, look, go out there, see how a Raquel's getting on, will ya?
I'm surprised you'd be party to all this.
I'm doing it purely for the man I love, Rodney. I'll claim a crime of passion or insanity. Anyway, I haven't noticed you turning any of the money down.
I'm just trying to make it easier on Del when the case goes to court. I mean, the less he makes on this scam, the lighter his sentence will be. Oh, to you, it may look like I'm sharing the profits, but in my heart, I'm simply halving the guilt.
That is true brotherly love and courage, Rodney.
If they didn't mean so much to me, I'd give you one of me medals.
Shut up.
I see Peckham Spring's really selling well.
What do you mean?
Had lunch at the local wine bar and they're selling it. The waiter says it's their most popular brand. Must admit, it has got a taste of its own.
Yeah. It's called fluoride.
Sorry?
I say it's got to be tried.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's buying it. And it's on trial.
Trial? What trial? What do you mean, trial?
Miles was saying a major supermarket chain are giving it a 2-week trial.
Yeah, that's right.
Are you okay?
Yeah, fine.
Look, if you're still worried about, you know, just remember what the doctor said. Don't be uptight.
It's got nothing to do with that. Look, Cass, if I tell you a secret, you promise never to tell a soul.
Cross my heart. Go on, what is it?
You know Peckham Spring?
What about it?
It's tap water.
Tap water?
Yeah, tap water.
What do you mean, tap water?
Well, water from a tap.
From a tap? What tap?
The one in Del's kitchen.
You're kidding, aren't you? Tell me you're joking, Roddy.
No, really. He just gets a bottle, puts it under the tap, fills it up and sells it for 45 pence.
Oh, my God! Oh, God, help
No,
us!
don't panic. It's got nothing to do with you.
Nothing to do with me? Where do you think he got the capital to buy all those bottles and boxes and equipment and the money to pay Daddy for printing his labels?
What? You?
Yes, he came to the bank and asked for a loan.
And you gave it to him?
I'm in charge of small business investment, and this seemed like a small business investment with a future. I mean, someone had discovered a natural spring that had received a certificate of purity from Miles.
And you believed Del?
No, Roddy, I believed you.
Well, Del told me not to tell anyone. Why didn't you tell me you'd given him the money?
Because that's confidential information between the bank and its client.
Well, now you know. What are you going to do?
I've got no choice, Roddy. I'm going to have to keep quiet about it.
Really?
I just crossed my heart and promised you I wouldn't tell a soul. And if I was to tell the bank, I'd most probably lose my promotion. I don't really fancy driving out to Wormwood Scrubs every Sunday to visit my husband. On the other hand, is selling water illegal? I was charged 20 pence in the garage last week just to fill up my radiator. Dale's kept up all the repayments, and you're earning lots of money out of it.
I've never been so well off. But there are geological aspects coming into play here, Kes. You see, we are taking thousands and thousands of gallons every week. The water board have got workmen on the estate. They think they've got a major underground leak. I mean, here we are in the middle of winter and the local papers are issuing drought warnings. So people are going out and panic buying Peckham bloody Spring. So that means we've got to take more water to stay up with the demands. And then to top it all, some prat has advised him to advertise on local radio. You? Why?
Dale's my client, Roddy. It's my job to advise him.
You are not dealing with a normal person. This is Derek Trotter. Don't you understand? He is sucking the land dry. I'm expecting a visit from Lenny Henry and Bob Geldof any minute.
I know, personally, I've always believed in powdered rhino horn.
Oh. I was ever so happy to hear your good news. Oh, it must be lovely suddenly coming into money after all these years.
Well, we're enjoying it.
Yes, I bet you are. You can come to my coffee mornings now.
Thank you.
I'll see you in a minute. I'm bursting.
You're not the only one.
Be the garden party next.
I hear business is booming, Rodney.
Yep, couldn't be better. The old Peckham Spring selling hand over foot.
You know, I just find it so hard to believe that someone with Del Boy's attitude could suddenly become so professional in his business approach.
Well, we just never had a chance to prove it before, that's all. I mean, let's face it, if he hadn't cleared up that allotment so thoroughly, he'd have never have found that spring in the first place.
Well, how come he cleared it up? I mean, I've never seen him as an Alan Titmarsh. It's a bit of a tit, maybe, but...
During our lifetime, Michael, we all go through many changes. Del just suddenly became very ecologically aware of the damage we are doing to Mother Earth.
Yeah, and I suppose that summons from the council made him even more ecologically aware.
Yeah, it might have helped. Yeah. But at least he brought in a firm of experts to get rid of them drums of chemical.
A firm of experts? Since when have Denzel and Trigger been experts?
Dental and Trigger? You told me you use specialists. What? No. On the other hand, Trigger could be considered to be a specialist.
Oh, Trigger still don't know which end of the dart to throw.
What I mean is he works for the council, doesn't he? So he could dispose of them drums at the environmental waste unit.
Well, according to Denzel, they chucked them in a pond.
In a pond? They chucked him in a pond?
In a pond.
You wait till I see them.
So what's happened to Denzel and Trigger, anyway?
No, I ain't seen them for weeks.
So what do you think of all this Peckham Spring lark night? I mean, knowing Del Boy, I wouldn't be surprised if it ain't coming out of a tap.
Don't be silly, boy. See, I've seen the certificate, all signed, sealed, the works. Listen, I'm even buying the stuff now. You don't think I'm stupid, do you?
In a pond?
Yeah, that's what Boycey said. You wait till Del gets back to this table.
Oh, no, Roddy, no arguments tonight, please. I want this to be a nice celebration. It's the first time we've all been happy for ages.
Yeah, all right. I'll have him tomorrow, though.
Rodders, listen, tomorrow morning we go down the old allotment, clear all that stuff out of the shed. I mean, what do we want with Bros LPs and Romanian Riesling, eh?
All those wigs.
Yeah, all the wigs, I don't know why I bought them wigs in the first place.
Wig saved my life once.
Yeah, well, we'll clear it all out, we'll dump it somewhere, all right?
Yeah, just so long as it's not in a pond, eh?
In a pond? We're talking about a pond. What's he going on about a pond, eh?
No.
Oh.
How did a wig save your life?
Tell her, will you?
You've got a mouth and a half on you, Mark.
Interesting.
Well, it's bound to be something that happened during the war.
Might not have happened during the war.
During the war, I was on a Corvette out in the Pacific, fighting the Japs. And my old skipper, Captain Kenworthy, he used to wear a wig. Couldn't tell though, except in rough seas when it used to slide to one side. And one day we were attacked by a kamikaze pilot. Came zooming in towards us. I remember saying to the skipper, the way he's carrying on, he'll kill himself. Anyway, he smashed right into us. And there we were, 9 of us and the skipper, all marooned at sea with all the lifeboats smashed to pieces.
Wait a minute, Albert. You're not trying to tell us that 10 of you got on the captain's wig?
Don't be facetious, Michael. I'm talking about heroes.
Oops, sorry.
Finally, we was washed up on this island where the natives had never seen a white man. They were waggling their spears and getting very angry. Captain Kenworthy, he said, "Leave this to me, lads." Then he stepped forward, brave as a lion, and he whipped his wig off. You should have seen their faces. You see, the skipper knew they'd never seen a wig before.
So what did they do? Make him a god?
No, they killed him. They wanted the wig, thought it had magic powers. They all ran off and had a ceremony.